So, you've just completely compiled your product listings with some of the best, highest selling products on AliExpress, Amazon, and other third-party websites. But you're not making any sales. Why is that? What's going on, guys? You know it's me, the last honest entrepreneur, and if you liked my content and you've frequented my channel, the big red button's right here and the like button's right there, and you can click it if you want to, but I'd rather you watch this entire video and see, in comparison to other YouTube finance channels, if I can actually earn that like from you, because I believe that I can, because I will give you information that a lot of other e-commerce YouTubers will make you buy a mentorship for, and I'll give it to you for free. And today I want to tell you guys that choosing products with the highest amount of orders, and even choosing products with the highest amount of orders based on descending criteria, where order range is less important, is kind of I would say an unprofessional way of creating a dropshipping store. However, I would say that that's actually not true, because the only two demographics that do that are people who have no idea what they're doing and people who are complete professionals. More than likely, you are not going to be able to get a range of different products from different niches that have really high orders and then be able to successfully sell them all. In fact, in this video, I'm going to be breaking down exactly what I do, what I actually sell, and I'm going to tell you guys how to create the media following for the product instead of the product for the media following. And that's where a lot of you guys are failing. You guys are creating the website, creating the image without finding the products first. And that's the issue with dropshipping. Guys, finding the winning product is literally 99% of dropshipping. Finding a product that has perceived high value that looks like it's worth $20 or $30, but in reality is only about $4.99, that's dropshipping. That is dropshipping. So a lot of you guys are creating the niche without understanding what products would be good to sell. And then once you go through trial and error and figure out what products sell a little bit better than the others, well, now you're screwed, because now you're starting to see that a lot of the winning products you found have nothing to do with any niche, and the money, the Shopify monthly payment that you pay for your WooCommerce store, your WordPress, anything, you're starting to realize that all of the internet infrastructure you created is now worthless because you didn't know what sold the best to optimize that before you started becoming successful to begin with. Of course, and this is why a lot of people like Hayden Bowles, this is why a lot of people like, let me think of someone else here, King Com, they all say that your second store will usually be it's why people say your first few stores have to fail. And it's because you have to understand what is a winning product and then build the niche around the winning product instead of building the product, instead of building the niche and then staying in that narrow repertoire of products that could be sold. And then when a banger comes around, like the fidget spinners, like the hoverboards, like the golden rose necklace, you're gonna be fucked. You're gonna be fucked because you put yourself in a corner, basically. And that's actually a good tactic to use if you know what you're doing. Being niche predicated is actually a really good tactic if you're doing something related to health and wellness, the hardcore avenue of fitness, or you can do something like outdoors. You could be really hardcore niche predicated if you're doing something like 25% of all of revenue goes to wildlife foundations, and then you market how much you want to help the environment, and you sell drop shipping outdoor related products on that Instagram. So being niche predicated is not a bad thing, but it's a bad thing when you don't know how to implement it properly. It's a great weapon if you know how to use it, But generally, if it's your first store ever, you don't know how to use it. And that's a problem that I see with more than 50% in my live chat that I have with people that come to me for consulting and information. That's literally like 70%. They built the niche first, and then they started selling the products within the niche. No, finding a perfect product for dropshipping is so hard and is so rare. I would advise you guys to get a collection of 50 or 100 winning products and then create the internet infrastructure around those products you already know are bangers, are winners. You could sell them on anything. That's what really is dropshipping. And a lot of these guys, they kind of try to like mislead you. Guys, you have to pick the winning products first. Every successful dropshipper I've ever met does this, except the extreme professionals. And they do things that are kind of counterintuitive to what you would normally find. So I'm not going to go into that. And they also run general stores, which is kind of, you usually don't want to run a general store. But anyways, we can talk about all this later, or I can make a different video on it. Just know that some of the things that professionals do in e-commerce is counterintuitive to what would be successful. But somehow they still make it greatly successful, but it's usually through things like automation services such as bots and other things of that nature that you guys really don't have the ability to use, frankly. And you guys don't have the networking or 24 hours a day that they do because they're fully self-employed doing this. What I wanted you to tell you guys is why distinct products, why having a unique product is important. And everything that I just said previously to that, getting the unique products, the winning products first before you create the niche is so important. And it's because if you can get something really that sells well, like hoverboards, but you're only pricing it for $80 and Walmart sells it for $90, you're not going to make a sale. It doesn't matter how much advertisement you run. It doesn't matter if a blue chip company with reputation, with trustworthy, with a better business bureau backed certification. They have tons of testimonials throughout your local community. If they start selling your products and they have a 2-day shipping and you have a 15 to 30 and you're selling the equivalent of the same product and there's only a $5 or $10 difference, or maybe even a little bit more than that, even if that's a winning product, it's trashed. It's trashed. Because eventually that'll start cutting into your profit margins more and more and more. And I've seen it happen with my own products. And this is something that people on YouTube do talk about this, but I wish they would talk about this more. Because I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys what I sell, what my product is, and why it sells so well. I have a lot of channels, also a lot of social media on Facebook and Instagram related to health and wellness, usually humor-based videos. What I'll then do is I'll market I won't tell you exactly what I sell, but it's a luxury item, an accessory, you might say. And it has an emblem. It has an emblem, a jewelry crest in relation to fitness. And do you see how I created the audience? How I had the products that I already knew from previous experience. There would be very high selling items, which are also high ticket items, but also have a high perceived value while still in reality being very low. Then I created the niche around the products that I already knew were a winning product. Then, after the social media hit a critical mass, then I market the product on the Instagram. And in reality, this is not an influencer account. It's an account based in fitness and luxury that garnishes 5,000 or 10,000 followers, and then I market my shoutouts. But in reality, I own the page, and I own the other 4 pages as well. You see how I did that? You see how I created the niche around the products that I already knew were winning products, and I already had a product listing and collection of products that I already knew were winning products from my past failures. That's why I always tell people, start a new store. If you've already gained experience, you already know what products are better sellers than others, and you've already done a return on ad spend on all of these products, you've done product testing for each of them, create a new store marketed for those products, and your conversion rates will literally become higher than you've ever seen them before in your life. You need to market the niche around the products you already know sell better than everything else on your website. In fact, most people who have a website know what I'm talking about. If you have an e-commerce website, more than likely you make 33% of your profit from literally the exact same 2 or 3 products. And usually those 2 to 3 products are very similar. I always tell people, take the 5 products that 66% of all your revenue is coming from, create a store based upon those products, create a new store, then create a new social media, building as this store is running and as you're making money from it. Once they've become once the Instagram has gotten to about 3,000 or 5,000, bam, link in bio, link in bio, link in bio. They will all now go to this website. Bam, you just doubled your income, or rather, I wouldn't say double your income, but probably made your income go up by 20 or 30%, and you did nothing at all. All you did was copy and paste the pictures from one website to another website. And you build the niche around the already chosen products. That's how you do it, guys. That is how you perform e-commerce. You pick the winning products, then you build the niche, then you continually expedite different winning products to different stores. Build those stores while you're making money from your 1 successful store or your 2 successful store. Then build social media around these new vacant stores. Once they become popular, list your best-selling products on the other stores. Then refer all of those consumer demographics to this store. And look at that. You did nothing except create another website, another domain that takes less than a few hours, and you've now just gotten a 10% increase in sales, 20% increase in sales, 30% increase in sales, and you've done nothing but copy and paste a picture of your best-selling product to a different website that is more tailored for whatever demographic those 5 best-selling products most suit. You need to, what I say is, people specify for advertisement. I also specify for website creation. If a lot of things on my luxury website are selling for health and wellness, I'll literally create another store based in health and wellness, just copy and paste all of those products, create different social media around those, then consolidate those consumer demographics to that new website. It has worked wonders for me. Wonders. In fact, I think this is why a lot of these guys on YouTube, you see them and they talk about having 8 stores or 13 different stores or some absurd number like that. And even I don't have that many stores. But I think I'm understanding why. If those claims are true, I think I'm starting to understand why. Because you can basically increase your sales by 10% or 20% by literally just creating a new domain more marketed towards your best sellers, and you'll basically get a huge buyer influx. And for doing nothing at all, you can even refer this website to the exact same email. So all the purchases that you get will just be referred to you in the exact same way as if they would have just bought from your original website. So it's actually extremely convenient and extremely beneficial to do this. However, there probably is a capacity rate or a cutoff that you would eventually incur if you tried to create 20 websites or 30, because eventually it'd probably be too much of a toll on you trying to fulfill the orders yourselves, unless you used a fulfillment center. But anyways, so that should show you something that I feel like a lot of YouTube e-commerce mentors are not talking about, guys, you find the products first, and then you market the social infrastructure around the products. There's a lot of guys who don't say this, or say that this is correct, or say that in theory this is correct, but in practice it's kind of wrong. Now, I don't know about that, because honestly, this sounds like a really gung-ho way to go about e-commerce or dropshipping, but in my personal experience, it is by far the most successful. Just get the products that sell the best, literally just remarket them, and they can get like a second wind. They can get like you can like artificially increase your sales by just getting a fresher consumer demographic. You basically just turn out the old buyers for new buyers, and it works wonderfully. And you specifically have the ability to do that and the know-how to do that if you pick your winning products before you create the social infrastructure. I'm telling you guys, get the products, then create the social media. Get the products, then create the media following. I have no idea why this is not talked about on YouTube finance, on the financial corner of YouTube, because it needs to be. Because in every course, on every financial course that I've ever purchased, they heavily talk about this. Getting the products before you create the media will allow you to tailor your consumer demographic far more than you ever could if you just tried to create your business from scratch, found out what was the best selling niche, and then never retailored your niche. Because a lot of people don't do that. A lot of business owners, in fact, I would say that even I didn't do that for the first 2 years, because I thought to myself, there's no way it could be that effective, that efficient. My niche is already almost tailored for the bestseller items. There's no way I could take the best-selling items, put it on a different website, remarket it, and then have a far higher conversion rate. But guess what? I was wrong. And then if you're thinking or assuming that I'm likely to be wrong because you're doing well with just one store and you've never retailored for your new most favored demographic, well, then you're wrong as well. Because this will absurdly increase your engagement and conversion rate. You guys need to find the products, then build the media following. It almost allows dropshipping to be possible. I would say that my dropshipping was successful and I was self-employed, but it was very volatile. It was very back and forth, up and down. The time that I started to get consistent sales was whenever I tailored the demographic for the products that I already knew were winners. And there you go, guys. That's all I wanted to talk about in this video. If I liked it and I earned that like, please hit it down below. If you like the channel, you can subscribe. And you know what we're already about. We're here to give you the information that mentors make you pay for, because that's what we're here for. See you in the next one, guys. Hang up the phone.